losing control? I'ma show you how we lose control, baby. Watch this. Look, Marty Mark. Watch the way I start up. I've been going hard, but I can go way harder. Every beat I'm on, yeah, you know that I slaughter. And I'm always looking gorgeous, chilling with somebody's daughter. Yeah, she loving me. Say she love the way my chain sitting comfortably. And of course it says my name if you wondering. To let you know who's finna blow. Always winning, check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh.
I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling my flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Nah, nah.
Always winning, check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh.
I like losing control.
Oh, you tell me stories, you tuck me in, and the second you leave, I call you right back. You check for my seat, in my seat. Yeah, high school was hard. You fight with my mom. I fall asleep to the screaming, sound machine always speaking, left emotional scars. Now I'm 21, a soul of 50 years. And now that you are gone, I'm doing things that I shouldn't know from. I'm doing things that I shouldn't do. At 21, a soul of 50 years. And now that you are gone, I'm doing things that I shouldn't know from. I'm doing things that I shouldn't do. At 21. At 21. I'm doing things that I shouldn't do. At 21. I'm just a kid. Oh, I'm doing things I shouldn't know from. Yeah, doing things I shouldn't do. At 21. Yeah, I play you my favorite songs on a car ride while you list me all the people that left you in your life. Oh, oh, and you smoke on your chair while I was trying to sleep. I smell the smoke in the air, but that was normal for me. I didn't know. I didn't know. But now I'm 21, a soul of 50 years. And now that you are gone, I'm doing things that I shouldn't know from. I'm doing things that I shouldn't do. At 21, feels like I'm 50 years. And now that you are gone, I'm doing things that I shouldn't know from. I'm doing things that I shouldn't do. At 21. 21.
And that's exactly what Brame had, being able to rotate that Lycan into the 3 position. Worked out very well, right? T-Gov, Kyle, and BSJ there on the big screen.
Worked wonders.
Yeah.
The important thing, though, I'd like to say, is simply you get this Lycan pick in the first game, and you kind of showcase your ability to kind of walk through the game. Does Brame have like a second plan? And I think that's hopefully what we need to see coming into this.
You want to change things up? We're just going to see them take Shadow Shaman. Then they're going to take Lycan again. And Crpwve is going to go Puck, because they're big believers in the Puck-Nyx combo.
Crpwve isn't really, again, like I said, Crystallis in the interview, they were very happy being the less creative drafters, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that puck comes into play.
Yeah, but that's when things were working for them. They used to have 100% win rate on that puck.
That's true.
Not anymore.
Yep.
I firmly believe they could run back those drafts from the same game, from the previous game, and do just fine. And they decided to opt out of that plan and say, well, we're not going to let you have the Lycan again. At least if you want to pick it, you're not going to get it in a free game compared to last game. I'd say the last game was more of just a forget about the first 8 minutes of the game with your draft. Sometimes you overlook your lanes, the 2 low damage range heroes top, 2 melee heroes against troll bottom, and the Kunga versus Puck matchup mid. If the draft plan like doesn't get to play itself out because you're down by 3,000 gold at 8 minutes, that's like a lost condition in and of itself.
I totally agree with Brian. I forgot why we don't see Wyvern, because that hero is garbage in the laning phase. Shadow Shaman had double the damage. That's not fair. I really like this Timber pick coupled with the Nyx Assassin. This might actually be one of my favorite duo openings, because all the heroes you want to play against Timber really hate playing against Nyx. And you got Beastmaster into it. The push tempo is certainly there, but Timber feels just fine now.
The important thing, though, is for Crpwve, it's ATF's best hero, or one of his best heroes. I think he's played it 6 times, never lost. There is that flex potential for mid lane to play it, but you know, he's played it 3 times, never won on it. So this, to me, just feels like this is your position 3, this is your position 4 on Nyx, and then it just allows the Nyx to go and make moves on the map. And also, Timbersaw, against the kind of the heroes that I mentioned before, the Lycan, the Beast, the Enigma, Timbersaw does pretty well at standing in front of them and being that kind of push repellent, and it will buy time for the likes of Crystallis or Marine to actually get into the game, unlike in that first game.
BSJ, do you agree? I mean, I feel like this is kind of similar to the Lycan picked up in the early 1-2 of last series. You're just showing this Timbersaw with plenty of counters to go.
Beastmaster's a tad different, just because if you have one hero to follow up his damage, dude, Roar is insane. Like that hero at level 6 can kill pretty much every hero in the game. I got to whine about this all yesterday on stream playing its Beastmaster, man. Even if you're a Timbersaw and you survive the Roar, eventually he'll get that Necro 1 and just burn your mana out of lane. So he'll just take your buildings, even though like you'll need help to do your job. Timber's nice, he's a deterrent, but he can't do it single-handedly.
Yep, Brian is certainly an expert on what heroes make carries whine in the safe lane. He does a lot of that. I would agree. I think anything that just rushes Necrobook just seems really, really annoying. I'm surprised we don't see more Dazzle off lane, solely because you can just buy Necrobook and run it at the enemy. We saw Enigma twice yesterday. We saw Lycan now. Beastmaster has been very meta for some time. I'm wondering what else could possibly buy Necrobook.
Literally anything, mate. That's it.
Well, I know anything can purchase it. I'm not asking literally. I'm saying what would be good.
5 seconds. Kind of cover meta. I think we're already kind of covering the heroes that want to buy a Necrobook. I don't think you need to get too creative there, because you know they do it so well. I don't think we want to go for like the B tier or the C tier heroes that can buy it. Just go for the ones that should buy it.
The weakness of Necrobook is that if they can just kill the hero that's wielding it, and so I think the most popular aspect of the heroes that like to buy Necro right now, especially Enigma and Beastmaster in the offlane, is that there's so much turn potential if you ever actually just try to kill them with 1 or 2 heroes. I think with Dazzle, a lot of carry matchups like Morphling, for instance, with a +1 can just kill you, and then they can deal with the Necroboots afterwards. But with Beastmaster Enigma, you're getting hit by Eidolon, you're getting hit by Boars, you have Roar, you have Black Hole. It's like this combination of the efficient damage from the Necrobook and the like deterrent of ever going on them that makes it so powerful.
I should start playing more offlane.
Pretty fun role, mate.
Yeah. Well, Beastmaster just seems like one of those heroes that's super fun to play. Is you just make the carry tilt.
Well, you just have to be annoying, Kyle, and that's exactly what you do.
Every time you hit him with the boar, you know you're just punching his carry ego just a little bit every time.
There's just nothing you can do about it. Man, this second ban phase is... I don't know how much is... Because there's a lot to think about. It's like, which tree are we going? How are we letting our draft evolve? What do we not want to pick? But realistically, this is the first time in a while I've seen different roles banned out. If you remember in the previous game, they picked Lycan and just banned 3 offlaners. That seems to be the usual route.
Well, the difference in bans, though, here is from Crpwve, they picked Timbersaw, Brame instant respond with Beast, and now they have to try and cover this Timbersaw. And they're taking away that DP5, that Ursa to be obviously lane counter, and the Grim to be that strong support. Brame then go for the Enchantress.
It's a nice pick.
And then if you look at Brame's ban...
the Beastmaster.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the importance about the Brame bans are they're simply targeting the active nature of the mid lane. Now that Crpwve have ATF on one of his better heroes, it's normally Mars or Timber, he gets to play a self-sufficient lane, and it allows the Nyx to go and do things. So they're trying to take away the mid laners that can also play with this active Nyx, and then suddenly the tempo of the game is we have to react to Timber, we have to deal with the pressure of mid plus Nyx. Like, that's what kind of the difference in these bans right now from the two teams.
I like the intellect just because, as you stated, it removes Beastmaster kind of like from the game in the laning phase. It's one of Spartan's best heroes, and it's really nice to have that impetus damage against Timber. It's one of the supports that doesn't really mind playing against Nyx Assassin too much either. The break is annoying, but creeps early on, adds tempo. This draft from Brame can do a lot of pressure. I imagine they go for their carry here. You know you're against Nyx Timber. Can't troll. Can't air. I mean, BSJ is going to say Jug because that's what he would do. Right, BSJ? Yeah?
That's exactly what I just said, Kyle. You heard me.
Why would you pick Jug, BSJ?
It goes well with your lineup. It's one of the best 5-man grouping up carries in the early game, and it's just going to have a reliable start because the 3 heroes so far just don't threaten you in the slightest. And Ursa, your worst carry matchup's already banned out, and same with Troll.
It also plays into the whole push idea, so it does for sure on paper look good. I think the only difficulty maybe with picking carry here, it does give Crpwve 2 picks to deal with.
Oh, finally!
They want to move away from that,
That is the Timbersaw counter. That is the Death Prophet counter that we just haven't seen too often. I love this hero so much. You got the Arcane Blink build. You farm faster than almost any other hero. You utilize runes better than almost any other hero. And at your timing with BKB, you're just such an absurd... It's so much damage. This hero just does so much damage.
I like holding your carry pick to last when you're 5 positions Enchantress specifically. I think the only benefit that Enchantress offers as a 5 over most other 5s is that she just wins your lane, man. Like, whatever hero you're playing, you're going to have a way better lane on average with Enchantress than you would with any other 5 position. And I think the best way to capitalize on that is to have the superior win condition. So I wouldn't have particularly minded Jug specifically just because his 2 counters are already banned out and it would be a decent lane for him. But by holding your pick here, there's really no high damage mids, as you mentioned, that are good against Timbersaw, that are okay against Nyx. And I think Shadow Fiend's really the only one that is.
Yeah, it's important from Brame that they don't put themselves in the corner of their draft was too easy to deal with, right? Like, talking about a carry pick, like you're mentioning, it just gives Crpwve these 2 picks. They, they counter the carry, they just pick up a generic mid lane, and they get to play a strong game of Dota. So, yeah, it covers them for sure.
I've seen Focus play it safe lane too. I think SF safe lane's actually not. Don't scoff.
It's a UK classic, mate. I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at my nation.
Well, that is, you do have a lot of things to giggle at.
There we go. Thank you. I do know that. Oh, it's so miserable.
Yeah, it's all right. Hashtag we live in Ukraine.
My man.
Let's go.
Woo-woo! Brame is the only other team besides Viking GG to run SF when it comes to DreamLeague anyway. And they did play it for Wish.
I kind of actually want to see that triple Ray Shadow Fiend in safe lane. That will have like a minute of fun and then just be shut down.
And then you have no mana.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the only thing I'm concerned about the Crpwve lineup is, once again, it just seems like their tower damage is real limited, and the support duo, it's like a high-level support duo, but they need to have like this perfect draft, and they need to play better than they did in the previous game. And I'm worried about their lanes. I am not a huge fan of Juggernaut against Beastmaster. But
you have to see him cover though, so it's not the worst scenario because you do have a...
Yeah, you can get the boars, but a good Necrobook timing is just GG for the Jug. Like, you're not really able to lane anymore once 6 and Necro come online.
Yeah, but like both teams have this kind of off-lane pressure where at like minute 5+, the Beastmaster's going to pressure that safe lane, Timbersaw's going to pressure his safe lane. So it's kind of in Brame's department right now. If they pick a strong carry and they can mitigate that off-lane pressure from Crpwve, they're going to have the map advantage when Beastmaster gets online. Yeah. Because Crpwve don't have the answer right now.
Yeah, based on the bans, that's definitely a mid SF as well.
Yeah.
Like, what I like about the Jug here is that whenever you have Timbersaw against Beastmaster, I think it's really nice to have the option to aggro tri-lane and put the Timbersaw solo safe lane. So Jug gives them really nice kill potential with the CM plus Nyx. Really, the only thing these 2 supports lacked early was damage, and the spin will be plenty enough to follow that up. Even though they have 2 ranged supports, which in theory trade nicely in a tri-lane, if they were to block the camps, Enchantress would be relatively ineffective, and either of them would die to just CM nuke plus Nick stun plus Jug spin off cooldown, so it deters a lot of carry picks. Like, in theory, I think Slark looks really nice here for
my
Brame.
God.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my God.
Damn, boy, let's
You
go.
know his mind.
So me and Kyle muted each other, and we were talking whilst you were talking, so we could build up that good. And we were both saying Slark. So all right, good stuff.
Would you not think Slark on paper is nice against Jug Timber cores?
Yeah,
Like, with
I
the
rate
line
it. I
that's
think
all about the vision
it
advantage.
feels too good though, you know? It feels like too good of a game where Crpwve
Well,
potentially...
I wouldn't want to pick it though, because it's
Yeah.
you get aggro tri-lane, I think, and that's like just not good for you.
Boy.
Timber mid.
Timber mid.
Or Tide mid. Either way, that
Sure.
that is not the move. SF will dumpster either one of these heroes middle.
I kind of want to see a
Heck,
Slark now.
actually?
I think Slark just has a nice time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now that that's the case, they all in and gave your SF a good lane. I think you can maybe play some weird dodge game, make sure your Slark doesn't get absolutely dumpstered in the early game.
Yeah.
I'd be licking my chops to be feeding off those Essence Shift stacks for Tide and Timber.
A cheeky little BKB on the Shadow Fiend. Slark gets to run around. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
That's such a weird pick.
Yeah,
There had to be something mid that could like lane decently here.
My only concern now is like you have Tide and Timbersaw do the same thing. They're the tanky boys stand in front of towers, and like you have no real damage outside of like Crystal Nova and a spin from Jug early on. So
there's nothing to do with the BKB. Like BKB SF, and then whatever hero you pick safe lane's gonna likely be BKB or just a Slark.
Oh, okay.
Stroud, okay. We saw that yesterday. It looked really good. It will be a mid timber. I honestly just because of how good I think SF in this game is, I just think as long as Brame doesn't screw up the lanes, they can't lose.
They do have a potential issue of, I think they did highlight in the first game, some of their, even when they were ahead, they took some kind of awkward fights. And with this draft, I think one bad fight could easily allow this Jug to push himself into a great game. And if Jug gets into an item advantage against Drow, it's going to be, you know, Christmas v the world here. So I think Brame, they have the nicer early window to play out the game, but for sure it's looking good for Brame again.
Seems like this time around we're definitely we're not going to ignore the laning phase, right? Feels like the laning phase is super important. BSJ, where are you leading then?
Jug's main weakness is single target physical damage, and they've got Beastmaster Drow. I think SF's gonna have a good lane, like Kyle said, and I assume the best way to deal with heroes that stand in front of you is to just not ever have to go on them. And Drow's one of the best long-range damage dealers in the game, and I like their prospects for Brame.
Gentlemen, you all feeling BSJ's analysis here?
Yeah.
Sorry, the last time that Malrine played mid Timbersaw, he lost to a UK team. So,
Oh jeez.
My boy!
Oh, let's
see,
go.
That is something that's got to ruin your confidence then.
Yeah.
'Cause,
yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. I looked at the stat and I was like,
is there any other UK teams besides the one that you're on?
not really, nah. It's like UK players. We don't have a team, but like we got Atlantic, Symmetrical, and Tanner from high school.
Okay, so we're all going Brame then?
Yeah,
On the Brame train?
Brame train.
Brame train it is. Okay, well, it looks like Crpwve have put all their hopes into another hero that they have 100% win rate. It's the ATF Tidehunter. Let's go ahead and head into game 2. We've got OD Pixel and Fog together again.
Thank you very much, Cap. Yes, so Fog, some definite things here in the draft that, right, we're seeing this decision to put the Timber in the mid against SF, which is something obviously Carl was very concerned about in terms of matchup, and also the fact that you are picking Jug into a lineup that seems pretty kitted out to running you over and killing you.
It seems like one of the best lineups I can see against the Jug, to be honest with you. I can see why they picked it for the reasons that Brian was saying. I think that's actually exactly what they're going to do. They needed damage, right, with those 3 heroes, with the CM and the Nyx. Jug provides all that damage, but Beastmaster throughout the later stages is good versus him. Roar versus the spin at all times too. You just amplify all the single target for your teammates to burst down the Jug too. And it looks tough. It looks really, really weird. I am so confused why they picked it to Tidehunter.
I mean,
this does not look like I would never want to lane in this. Malrine must have some different idea,
Sure.
or like some way of trying to maybe win the lane, but I can't see it in any fathom.
I mean, as Cap said, well, they have a good win rate with the ATF Tide, so it must be sort of their special pick that there's just won them many games in the past, and maybe a little loss of how to close this draft up. They just go with what they know is something that has been and can be very strong themselves, regardless of what the enemy is playing. So we'll see. But definitely on paper, this one looking to be arguably more difficult than game one was for Crpwve. In particular, some of these standout heroes, you know, the Beastmaster, it really is Skylark's best. You know, we see him on these Beastmasters, these Lycans. Lycan last game, he was having a grand old time. His Beastmaster's even better.
Absolutely. I want to see some extremely aggressive plays coming out from down bottom. Look to hide the two supports, try to get a first blood on one of the two that pops up right away with the first spin. Body block the camps, ward the camps. They've already got the sentry down. Good job. Make sure that these camps never respawn. Barton's going to get a D-ward. They're going to have to make sure that they can attention, block the camp there. And they can do a decent job as long as they play this lane like perfectly. If you play the lane in any way, if you make too many mistakes in the lane though, then your jug is splitting try experience with horrible, and your supports are in the same position. So let's see.
Oh, here we go.
Steps up.
Nice. Should be a easy kill here. Even stacking sort of the control there from the CM and the Knicks, it didn't matter. Just one of them would be enough to provide the time for the Blade Fury to do the damage. Spartan is trying to get Fishman. He's not going to be able to get it all made with the Fairy Fire. All the cell! Fishman keeps himself alive.
Hell yeah. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Good start out for that try.
Yeah.
And again, we watched them block the camps too. While they were playing on the side there, I saw Alex and Fishman making sure that the camp does not respawn. Great job. And they're going to keep this Drow pushed in a pretty difficult spot. If they can keep the lane equilibrium here, which they should be able to. The Jug build power tonight easily end this next wave. Mid actually was going pretty decent. Wish actually missed 2 raises, I think I saw, on the Timber. And Malrina is prepared. He already has the stick early on. Now, level 3 for Shadow Fiend gets a lot harder for him. Opposing kill threat.
Yeah.
Quite constantly.
I mean, and is just the straight regen of the passive ever enough to sort of allow him to stay in lane, or the raise damage just becomes too much far too quickly?
It becomes too much far too quickly. And maybe you can do some fun with like raindrops and stuff like that, but even then, the damage it starts to get way too much because he's got constant stacks out. Shadow Fiend can force the lane out much harder than a Timber Saw can early because you get your early bottle. Then you can secure ruins.
There we go again. They're in onto Focus. This time a TP from Stamanic coming across as he's trying to help out. But Focus, he's down again. This time they will get the trade kill onto Fishman. See if they can do anything more here. Of course, some hefty right clicks coming in from this Shaman.
Got the shackle now. They gave him the mango, and they should be able to get Alex here.
Oh, very fire.
Or should they?
Trees.
Very fire.
And south. Oh, okay. He's getting some good duration out of it as well. Will finally get stopped. And he's gone. That impetus doing enough there from the distance. As
next time.
Yeah. So they've lost focus twice down here. I mean, having it 3-on-3, do you pretty much keep it like this now as Brame? I mean, is Skylark going to be all right in his own up top, or does this mean Skylark's going to have a tricky time against the Tide?
It'll definitely be a trickier time, but he's already off to a very good start.
Yeah.
And he can still play the lane, he can still just farm the lane. You're not under any threat if the Tider doesn't skill Gush, which ATF is holding the skill point. If he gets some Gush point, then he can start to pressure Skylark, and hopefully we can do that. I think they have to keep this. They have to keep it tri-lane bottom to help focus, so they can secure their pullbacks, get that experience split. And really good job right now for Crpwve.
And dude, in the mid lane, you know, 90-0-70 for 2. This is much better than you expected from sort of a Timber in this matchup.
Yeah, I thought he'd be doing a bit worse for sure. I think it's still going to continue to get harder.
Okay.
Now it's level 5 on the Shadow Fiend, and he's able to push the lane in, and he's going to guarantee the rune probably for himself too. Because the supports, I don't think they're going to be able to check this actually. So Malrine, just go for the top rune, go for the RNG.
And what do we got? Nothing crazy, but at least
he gets it.
Yeah, not the SF getting their hands on it as Wish was very low on the mana, and of course empty bottles. So pretty big for ATF. Sorry, no, for Marine that the RNG was in his favor.
Yeah, that's very nice. Now he doesn't get pressured at all. He can actually stay in the lane, and this is actually going to be a pretty even matchup now. All things, all these things considered. Decent. And bottom, straight 3v3, and we're just watching it. Spartan looking for a particular creep where he feels like he can actually make the move, and he does find one. He finds himself with the Mud Golem.
See if he can set up for a kill. He's got to be a little cautious. I mean, if they go on him, Crystallis inbound. There's the opener. Crystallis trying to come across. Lock him down with the shackles. Some good damage from Focus to start things off. Crossbow to man, and this time around, Crpwve not really able to pull it together to get themselves a kill straight up. Oh, I say that. The crits there from Crystallis. Is able to come back and get the kill. He's got the healing ball point. Keeping it in a distance. They'll send the Mud Golem in to take it down, but Focus is gone. They're chasing on for Spartan. The Mud Golem holding back the chase from Crystallis. Actually also cancels the salve that was just popped on him. That's a little unfortunate there, but still kill-wise, they're getting the action. Mid setups there from Wish. He needs one more raise to hit this. There's 3 stacks already up on Marine, and that'll do it. Lands the last one. Wish able to finally get a kill in this matchup.
Great dance they did down bottom too, Crpwve, versus this triple range lane. You know, if they don't get the instant go, they have to do these nice quick little resets, and they do decently.
Yeah.
Just able to get this very clutch healing ward on the high ground, a couple seconds, and these fairy fires coming into play in these aggro. Very nicely done. And top, we see that Tidehunter is winning that matchup. He has the Gush level 2, so he's getting a couple extra boar kills for himself, and slowing down Skylark significantly.
This time round, Wish will find himself the haste to man, and he's actually got the catch onto Alex. An easy kill granted to Wish there.
Oh, Skylark got his courier. It's like with the boar. Got Tidehunter's boots and a clarity or something, it looked like. I'll hurt. And Skylark is still able to get a decent amount of maximizing. He's actually started to pull the waves. He can't actually lane straight up versus the Tidehunter as mid. Haste on Wish. Bottling up.
Oh,
Marine
in trouble if a few more raises hit. One more will do the job.
He's out of mana though.
He's balling up. He's 10 mana off.
The raindrop protects him for a second, and the raise will come. Oh.
There we go. He was trying to see if he could get away without popping the raise. It's of course better to play it safe. As with these sort of kills, well, same time bottom Focus. Bottom. They've got the setup. They're in onto him. Focus hasn't got any backup. Another death on the safe lane Drow as Crpwve do continue to really exercise the strength that they have here with this tri-lane. And I think
ATF gets a Ravage kill top.
Yeah.
The Beastmaster too in the river. When the whole play was happening when they were chasing the timber.
I mean, Wish is definitely going to have to do quite a lot this game. But he's going to hit the fast timers to do it. These 3 kills, we're going to see pretty much an 8-minute boost of travel on the VSF, so very good timing there from him.
And they actually, the Beastmaster is keeping bottom to defend. They actually surround the TP, and he has to cancel. This tower is very likely to just drop now to this Crpwve push. And ATF, he's fully enabled. He has phase boots when his courier does respawn. He's going to be really strong turning up into all these fights. Ravage will be on cooldown, but he's going to be a pretty big beast for them to actually focus down as Drow, this whole tri-lane is shut down so hard. Crpwve's aggression.
Yeah, the way that they've laned this couldn't be any better. They've managed to do exactly what they needed to with the setups on the side lanes. Sure, the mid lane's not been great, but it's at least it's not like, Marine got completely zoned out. Sure, he's behind, but he's not out of it. He's still ahead of Skylark and of course Focus in regards to farm.
Yeah, and he can still threaten heroes who do show up. As we see Spartan, he tries to shove versus this level 7 Timber, and he's just dead.
All right, and Mari's game getting even better. Top lane, they're trying to get in with the setup. They've got the ult. ATS tanky, but not tanky enough to withstand the magical burst from these raises as Wish continuing to do his best to really use this power that he was able to build up in the mid lane to just keep this game on hold here for Brame and make sure that they don't suffer anymore on the side lanes.
He's so fast to move from lane to lane because of these bots. Marine has to be careful not to get caught by Disable. He will die. And these bots will always enable him to make plays with the Beastmaster. It's the more standard build now on these Shadow things lately, but it's going to be a really nice one this game for him to play around the map. As 2K lead Crpwve continue playing aggressively down here. I actually want to see Crystallis try to find the Shadow Fiend with the CM and the Nyx. An Omni Slash and a stun, it's really easy kills on the Shadow Fiend early on if they can ever find the opportunity.
Yeah, this window before he has his next item after bot's done. Absolutely top. ATF, he's done it again.
Another Ravage kill.
He's able to pop Skylark. Wish will be able to get the raises down onto Alex, but here's the move you talked about. Crpwve coming in with the Blaze Fury. They've killed off Wish. A huge kill to be found. Omnisexer bounces it perfect. It bounces to the creeps for the once, but then goes straight back over to Waterman to get the kill. Focus is trying to get Crystallis, but the Frostbite Fishman holds him back. Focus will be able to take down Fishman there with the multi-shot, but now Marine's chasing him down. Has he got enough burst? Not quite. Focus will live. He now turns him with the backup of Skylark and Spartan. They're looking towards Marine, but he's too tanky with the 3 points in reactive armor. Marine's able to get away.
That as tribute.
Still some big stuff, and that kill on the SF, slowing down his momentum. Instantly, though, off the back of the respawn, he's making moves down towards Marine. So what Marine can do, he's got the chain, he has got a TP if he wants to chance it in the trees. He's going to go for it. Can they find him? They can't. They can't quite get him there. The raise, the close range one must have still been on cooldown, as Wish was not able to get it in time.
Nice TP. Just great aggressive moves coming out, and they haven't had to move the Tidehunter yet.
I mean,
ATF is chilling in the top lane, killing this, getting 2 free kills for themselves.
Yeah,
and they do get, I think, all 4 bounty runes afterwards too.
I think, you know, we're seeing why sort of against what seemed right in the draft, they just threw out the Tide as the last pick, because ATF definitely having a great start with it. They're going to look to try and catch him. He's speedy with the phase push though. Stamana can't quite close the gap on him. He's too fast. He's out of there. They can't get him.
Wow. I mean, Wish has this whole movement speed build with his bots, Windlace plus Faded Breach, but yeah, Shadow Shaman can't catch up. Alex will walk over, scan some information for his teammates. He's gonna sap some experience too for Stack. Maybe able to set up on this too. Do look to make a swing over. And this is huge. I mean, Crystallis has had an absolutely free game, 6-0-2 on the Jug. Not something you'd expect, and just from the Jug pick versus what he's up against, but this aggro tri-lane paying dividends.
And we'll see in the midst focus.
Is that?
It's gone. He is having a rough game. In this sort of game, I mean, I've got to ask, because, you know, this is something that I feel like, you know, shows sort of how rough time he's having. Do you agree with he's got the Midas queued up? Is that really the only way this drought gets back into the game?
Ooh.
Radiant's top tower.
He needs levels desperately. So, you know what? I might actually just say yes. I agree with this.
Like,
he's level 6 at the 12-minute mark. He just needs to never show up. He can't show up anywhere for the next 8-10 minutes or so. So why not go for Midas some way to try to catch up? Let your Shadow Fiend and Beastmaster somehow try to salvage this disastrous early game. The only reason is really because he was in a tri-lane, then I'm okay with it. Because I know we've seen mid one do it, but he gets, you know, at the good timing because he got his lane secured. It's just he's so low level that I have to say I'm okay with it. Yeah,
this game, this feels very much like this is the only way out for a sort of build. This doesn't seem like it would have been the plan from minute one for Focus, but yeah, this is the way they've got to try and bring him back in. He's got to play this recovery game, and it's going to take a lot of time.
And his levels do benefit, even though, of course, we're going to see the Shadow Fiend go for the spell damage build, because that's just always what we see for the SFs. He can help his aura, his marksmanship in general. If he's standing next to Shadow Fiend, if he gets levels, it is a very impactful.
Sure.
So definitely want him to at least have something. Skylark, book 2, summon toward top. ATF, he has Ravage again.
Oh,
set up around
I was going to say, we've had this story happen a few times.
He's level 12 as well, too. They can easily look to set up for this defense here. What level is the Shadow Fiend? Only level 10, so it's still level 1 Requiem. They can't even go for like a shackle into a level 2 Requiem play onto him. It won't kill him.
Let's just see if they do try and go on. It seems hard. I mean, as you said, they've got so many of them here. They're going to look towards the tower. Fortifications out. Crpwve, they're bringing him back up. They know ATF strong. Ooh,
oh my God.
All right. I mean, he catches the 2 of them. Just the tick required there from ATF for the setup. They will lose the CM. But the Ravage allows them to at least get Spartan and does force the rest of them to run. They get him with the Omnislash onto Skylark. And the chase is going to continue. Stamana and Focus, they've just got to run. Wish he's out of there. They will manage to get away. I mean, that's an experienced Tide there. He knows the exact limits of his ultimate, and he's able to catch the 2 on the very edge of it.
It looked really bizarre the way he tossed it out, too. Like, they weren't going to get much out of it. But, I mean, Tower is held.
Tower's defended.
They get the chase with the Timber Saw, with that level 4 Timber Chain.
No, that was a big brain ravage.
Yeah, good. Focus is getting some time to at least try to farm and finish with Midas. Still a ways away. 300, 400 more gold for him. It's gonna be tough for them to make any of these aggressive moves with Alex now always doing this and just stalking, giving all this information, and with ATF parking himself in front of towers. This is very likely for them to get 2 kills here with the rotation 2 from the bots.
Raiden on Skylark. They are definitely making the moves this game. Oh, sorry. Alex. He's going to be fine as he's able to set up onto Samanan. Another kill from Maureen. 17-9, 7k lead so far from Crpwve. I mean, they really have just come into this game too completely differently to what we saw happen in the first game.
Martin also walks up. Another free kill.
It's really looking like they're in their comfort zone. These heroes, Maureen's Timber, ATF's Tide. It didn't feel sensible in the draft, but now just seeing what these players are able to do on these heroes, it totally becomes understandable why they would throw them out in a lineup like this.
And I'm so glad to when I do see the more lower division, not the tier 1 teams, make the decision and make the move to do those aggro tri-lanes. I feel like it's much more unexpected for the less experienced teams to do that compared to your tier 1s, your tier S's. As to ATF, they've got the level 2 Requiem now, but they actually can't go for it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to commit. He's worried with Crystallis coming over, and he knows already, even if he does drop the Requiem, it's probably not going to be quite enough to kill ATF. ATF's going to have Ravage pretty soon. He'll drop the Requiem now, roars and raises out onto Crystallis. They'll get the jug.
They might be able to get ATF too. He's dropping really low. Spartan has max impetus.
He's got Ravage and Maureen's around. If they drop the walls down onto Maureen, Ravage being used to help Maureen, and now they can turn. As the Requiem from the death will kill Maureen. Back up from Focus coming over. He's trying, but of course he's not got much to utilize at the moment on the drought. ATF stopped him for the TP out. He's done with this, Mr. Manon. He's able to come back in, put a stop to it. Alex creeping back in, gushed into Impale. They're closing the gap onto Focus. He's in so much trouble. They will push back the Tide with the Gust. Can Alex quite get him? He's going to have Impale and Mana Burn in a second. Focus drive, but they've found him. Another kill for ATF. Fishman standing his ground, actually setting time for ATF and Alex to come back over towards Skylark. They'll get another kill. As Brame, they really tried to push it there, bringing in Focus. Cancelling the TP of ATF as ATF tried to get out of there. But that ended up to be a move that completely hurt them. ATF still being in the action and Crpwve being forced to continue the fight paid off so much better for Crpwve. They get focused and of course they get Skylark at the end of it.
How the hell does Focus show up to this fight and think it's gonna go well for him? He's Brown Boots Midas. He's literally hitting them for 0 damage. I'm surprised they called for him or he made the move to go up there to try to help. It was 5 for 1, right? Or 5 for 2 that it ended up. Maybe even worse.
At least, yeah. I mean,
5 for 1. They got Maureen. I guess in the initial they got the Jug too. So it was a 5 for 2. But a very overextended fight leads to the Ravage coming back up and Focus. I think that was the time for him to focus and to catch back up in the game. But yeah, shows up to the team fight and just gets frustrated.
ATF, he's pretty much got a completed Aghanims after that fight that he's going for.
Oh. That's really nice. I love Aghanims Tide. I think it's so nice when you're playing versus summons and versus squishy heroes. Let's get this gush on everybody and then everyone's able to everyone does more damage versus them. Nice. And he's gonna be able to spam it. He even maxed it and he took the talent. So the damage is 380 for gush.
Nice, yeah, it's absolutely strong, and especially when you just always guaranteed basically to get -7 armor on whoever Crystallis, the group of heroes that Crystallis is Omni slashing. Instantly, everybody that he's bouncing around, -7 armor. These Omni slashes are going to destroy these heroes.
And they don't have the other things too. Like they're not even close to these, but they're not even close to BKBs or anything. The gush, it provides the armor mice, but also provides a 40% slow for 4 seconds. So
yeah,
they're not going to be able to run away. And these tanky front lines, Timber, Tide, who are shown to be pretty immortal, they're going to get so many of these frequency of spells off. Big problem for Brame. It's a very uphill battle for them this time around.
I mean, considering, as you said, so the thing that's worked out the best for them has been the fact that they did do this aggressive tri-lane. But when you are starting to see some of the performances from these players, like Maureen on his Timber, ATF on the Tide, do you think either of these are sort of warranting you know, teams to sort of really consider just not letting these players have these heroes in this division?
Timber is always one that can just get banned out if your lineup just literally has no damage. That one I could see. Tide's a little tough one to ban out. That's more like a last ban.
Sure.
Or if you have like a Tide Hunter, if you have like a Lycan or something like that, and you're just trying to cover your bases versus the hero. Tide's a tough one to ban. Timber though, Timber definitely. Malrine 8-3-2 in a very unfavorable matchup as we were.
Yeah, against the mid SF. No, he died what, the once really in the laning stage when the Requiem was hit from Wish, but up until that point, not falling foul to the raises of the SF in the lane, played it smart and was easily able to match the farm that Wish was getting out of that mid lane.
10,000 gold lead too, 10,000 experience lead at the 17-minute mark. They don't have the team fight either. They're more about like this kickoff now for Brame rather than grouping up and going for anything into this Tide Hunter. It's very problematic. 70 seconds though, no Ravage. Let's see what they can make of it.
Oh, Skylark. Yeah, he was. I mean, he saw Alex. He saw them, right? Or I guess he didn't. I guess it's nighttime. Maybe just wasn't quite ready for Alex to come out of the fog.
Pauses messing with your brain.
Yeah, I mean they really do.
And he also fed. I think that might be the third or fourth book. He didn't feed both of the minions, but he fed one of the. He fed the blue one, so 150 gold. I've seen a couple of times the Tide and the Timp for getting them in the midst of the action. So decent chunk of gold going toward the side of Crpwve. As the Aghanims is pretty much done now. Brave. Yeah, once you get.
I mean, I think honestly, without doubt, this is going to be the fastest axe you'll kind of ever see on a Tide, right? I mean, it's not really the item Tides are always getting. Definitely not the one that they're rushing or getting this early.
He's just getting chased out. Stunned. Not going to hit with a Gush connects and an easy kill from Malrine to run down. This Drow is never going to be able to come back in the game.
It really feels like that tri-lane broke the Drow completely. Like, Focus is just completely struggled to find space after what was such a brutal laning stage for him.
They can't do anything about the actual team fights now. So Ravage is back up. They have to just look for pickoffs with this book 3 if they can. Try to get some information with the Hawk, but the Hawk has so much sentry coverage now because how rich these supports are on this side of Crpwve. There's a sentry and a ward in most of the locations, so the Hawk is flying over. I've seen it get killed now twice also from the PM. We've got this Gush now for the minus armor.
Yeah. And I like this as well from Crystallis. He did initially have the Maelstrom queued up after Manta, but just going for the Axe. And honestly, because his Tide has an Axe as well, the slashes, the swift slashes, you don't need the damage from a Maelstrom. You're already just going to be able to do so much as long as you have the ability to jump in and get the hits off.
Tower is under attack.
Absolutely. I mean, the Drow can't do anything.
No, a Gush and a swift slash, really he's probably dead.
Wish being stalked by Alex. Wish is still 6-2-2, but it's such an uphill battle for him. He needs this BKB so badly, and he might just get found here. Alex. Oh. Get it. 2 speed.
Skylark.
They will find the roar, but he might actually just need his minions and die. Oh my god, that did a lot more damage than I thought it would.
That's the Kaya and the Nether Skull. Without that would not have done it. He's got the beautiful stacking spell up there from those two. And Spartan in the mid. That's pretty dead. It's an ambitious salve attempted by Spartan.
Take you.
As 20 minutes, it's a full Bloodstone thanks to that kill as well for Malrine. I mean, all 3 of their cores are just popping off. Whilst the Brame, both Focus and Skylark, they're falling behind. Oh no!
I don't know what you can ever do with this route. He's gonna minus up in 4 seconds. But look at his items. These are 8-minute items if you exclude the items. Look at, there's still like 8-minute items. He doesn't do anything in the game.
I mean, they really weren't. Everything. I mean, what could they have done better against the tri-lane setup from Crpwve in retrospect? Are you looking to dodge it? Are you taking the Drow straight over to the other half of the map? Or do you need to have had your own tri-lane set up in response before Focus started the 2 times?
They probably should have just brought... They had to do one of the 2. They had to move something. They had to have just either completely swapped the lane or just have the tri-lane there first. That's pretty much the only solution. There wasn't anything else really they could have done with their heroes. That's Spartan again. We'll go down. they're collapsing on these towers. I mean, there's just nothing Brame can do. They just have to watch. Because now there's just nowhere for Focus either to go to catch up and farm. And anytime they are looking to catch up and farm, pushing out these lanes, they're afraid. Alex is sitting on them, and there's a boot to travel on Timber that can dodge them. No space for them to try to catch up.
Radiant's
Healing
middle
ward
tower is under
will allow them
attack.
to continue. And these summons just dying to gush. Another both 3 down.
Given so much gold up throughout the game.
And into this Aegis, it's so much more difficult. Tide, level 18 on the front line. They're even setting the Jug Illusions to try to catch the bottom wave. Shaw will try to at least stop that in the meantime. Keeping Brame locked inside their base, getting no farm whatsoever.
And I think Brame's got to do this. They're not going to win the game waiting on the high ground. They've got to go for risky plays if they want a chance here in the second game.
What level's the Tide? Or what level's the Shadow Fiend? Still only 15, so not even the level 3 Requiem still. Not gonna kill. I mean, it's not gonna kill the Tide Hunter or the Timber Saw. They can kill the supports. They can still get the Jug if they can get it perfectly as Aegis.
I mean,
Focus has been found.
I see death. Dire are scanning.
If that happens once more, it might be one of those games where they just call it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Looking pretty over here for Brame unless they can pull off something really spectacular. As Crpwve is
Getting as much as they can.
Radiant's
Push the
middle
bottom.
tower.
You know, they can't
They're
defend.
losing racks. They're probably going to lose a seconds there here. Crpwve want to swing round to the bottom.
Radiant's middle barracks has
Now they're
fallen.
just going to back off and look to try and fight them. They've decided to have much more fun getting more kills, which is understandable. Skylark
Where are you going?
using the raw to help himself get away. And, ooh,
My God.
it's close, but he does make it.
Level
So-
18 Timber too.
Yeah.
On the way to a Lotus Orb. They're just items are just trickling in so fast. Brame just getting absolutely nothing on the map. Wish he can't find any. They just can't find any farms. They can't peek their faces out because this Nyx Assassin is stalking. Oh, he saw a multi-shot. Run, Focus. Hopefully your Midas is up. Oh no. Shadow Fiend, the ward. They have a ward on the side
Oh
there.
no,
They're actually watching Wish.
they see him.
Radiant are
Throw
scanning.
the scan at top as well.
Oh, he's got to do it. He's got to do it to get out.
Immediately, Malrine towards bottom. It's under a ward though, so this one looks. Can they actually? Are they going to attempt to set up
I
for it?
don't-
They
I
have
don't
full
think
information
they-
that he's alone.
If they use Requiem, if he's able to just sort of pop the active Bloodstone,
Dire's top tower
just-
he's
is
not gonna
under
die.
attack.
It's not going to even be that close, actually, because he has another shot.
no, it's going to be like half his HP, if that.
Yeah,
Maybe not
could
even
have
that.
connected it perfect.
Man, I'm trying to do his best here. Sideways out. Shard.
I'll take that as tribute.
Alex is coming hunting though. He knows that Stamanon's going to try and stick around, and
This'll
yeah,
find him.
it's a good read from Alex.
Timber saw bots up. They are.
Oh,
He's gonna bots
no.
up. They're going to bring even more.
He doesn't know.
Goodbye, Sam.
Classic job.
No, he's just trying to split push because he's got the he bought the Ag Shard, so he's just dropping the Serpent Wards with the Shackles in lane and just shocking. They just have to try to buy any amount of time that they can. It's not like time is really going to help them in this game anyway. Drow just will never be able to cover, but they're tempting.
He did get his first time after Midas though.
Did he?
The
Oh,
Yasha.
okay. There he is.
Well, half an hour. You know, it's been a long game for both. A slow game. It's, you know, it has. He's looking forward to game 3. I mean, these are the kind of games where, you know, Focus, he is gonna be angry in game 3, which could be definitely to Brame's benefit.
Radiant's
You know, you get beaten down this hard in a game of Dota 2, you're gonna come back all guns blazing in the next game.
Roar to run away. Will he make it though?
The worm.
Should be able to get away. We also have a basher now on ATF, so I mean he's just having a good time.
Basher.
Why not?
I mean, you can bash with the anchor smash, right?
Only one target, but
Sure,
yeah.
only one target. I mean, yeah. I mean, they'd be pretty hype if you could get it on multiple.
Dire are scanning.
But indeed, we'll see if he's able to get some cool anchor smash RNG. Oh, there he did. Got to bash the ancient.
Get a couple of them.
I mean, if you're jumping into a few heroes, chances are you are going to bash something, right? You're also pretty good.
Applying minus 11 armor.
Don't be mad.
With now the minus 4
Yeah.
armor got challenge. Pardon? Running away, Skylar. Not so lucky.
Oh, there's.
Oh, there's the bash.
The bash.
Beautiful.
The anchor bash.
Anchor bash plus the anchor info.
Yeah.
I love winning.
Still holding back.
Well, split push, but I mean, his split pushing wars are actually giving 100 gold every time when they kill all 4 of them, too.
Oh, no.
Lots of gold being given.
Yeah, 22k lead there.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom
See what
tower
kind of
is under
defense
attack.
they're going to be able to pull together.
I just can't. ATF, if he sees an opportunity, he's just gonna blink Ravage, and they only have the one BKB, so it's gonna hit
Radiant's
4 of them
bottom
probably.
tower has fallen. Radiant's
Whenever
bottom
ATF makes the
tower
call, click the jump button.
Radiant's
Nice
bottom
and
Do it.
hard.
Jump him.
He's got. He do it, and when focus steps up, and wait till Skylar summons the book, and then he might do
Dire's top tower is under attack.
more money.
I mean, they're playing it safe. You know,
They are.
They don't want to throw this game away. It feels pretty unthrowable. Can we
Pretty impossible.
give them a plus percentage? This has got to be a 99. No, it's an 100.
100.
It's an 100. It's been 100 for quite some time as well. It's been 100 for the last 7 minutes. Or maybe 6 minutes. Last at least 5 minutes. Oh, here we go.
Arcane, Requiem.
All right, that might just do it. No. Okay. Where's your 100% now, Gaben? Well, there we time for the comeback.
Still says 100%.
Oh,
But it hasn't shifted. Not this time, not yet. I mean, they need what? 10 more of those? Maybe more? Like, to realistically actually get back in the game. Wish is at least
If he gets the
got
arcane
to level
blink,
18 and
Yeah.
on his way to the Arcane Blade, so
If
if
he-
he can get these pickoffs.
if he gets the arcane blink, Abyssal, then maybe.
They're starting to split up a lot. Look, Maureen also setting up on bottom. They're already preparing. Titan is starting to be over.
If those raises stacked up,
ATF's coming. Titan season coming.
they've got the roar. So, oh, there we go. Ravage out, a smash and a gush, and goodbye wish. Spartan. We're looking extremely dead here. ATF unstoppable. Let's focus. Oh, they're trying to turn onto Maureen. They cannot hold him back. ATF in on top of focus. Buyback's coming out for the 2 of them. They're going to roar the next assassin. They might just be able to kill him here. Comes out on the Yules. Alex will go down. See what more they can find. They also get the kill onto Fishman. Skylark trying his best to juke out the movements of Maureen. They try with the Yules setup. He's already got the Timber Chain down. ATF's able to get over the wall. Skylark pick out the Beastmaster.
ATS has a full Abyssal Blade coming on the courier.
Oh, he does. 29 minutes in, 30 minutes in. Let's be fair. 30-minute build on this Tide Hunter. Pretty terrifying, and without a doubt, definitely warranted the team bringing it in as the final pick.
Yep.
This'll come in handy.
And he also got the blessing of the Orb of Corruption, the Orb of
yeah.
Destruction as well. Even more minus armor for this beastie man.
I mean, that's, yeah, how much is it
15.
nowadays? Yeah, but, oh, you did the math for me, thank you. Minus 15. Wait, no, you did. Oh, yeah, you did. Sorry, yeah, I forgot about the talent. Yeah, absolutely. That's a lot of minus armor.
Fall into the dark.
Especially when they are. Let's see who the
Pretty
who
low
has the
armor,
highest
right?
armor.
Probably the
Who has
Drow.
the highest armor?
Drow,
It's
yes,
gotta be Drow, sorry.
Drow.
Yeah. When she loses the Agi, though, she'll probably be at pretty much 0 armor, as well as the Shadow Phoenix top. They'll find Alex again, but the backup's incoming.
He's going to be able to find some mana. But a 1-for-1 trade when they're down 28k is something that they will take any time of day.
Isn't it crazy how they got the same gold for the kill as well on both sides? Pretty nuts.
Kill bounty is pretty wild now, though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think they use the same maths as the dice roll function for kill bounty. Mallory is diving in.
Oh, it's Skylar.
Saw that coming.
He's very dead. No buyback on him. Mallory's losing a little bit of his mana. ATF's in. Gets the kill on Focus. Focus has got buyback. As Wig, he's in the BKB hole. Here we go. Red Crim onto the two of them. Can they kill Mallory? No, he's got the cheese. He's back up the ball. Oh, he's jumped in by his own Charlotte Ford. He can't get out. The Ravage is there. They'll call it now. GG. As Crpwve will take this game too, and my goodness, did they look good doing it. They really did crush Brame from the start.
banned first 2 in the previous 2 games, and for some reason, NA loves first picking Monkey King. I just don't see it very often outside.
Flexible, Kyle. Where does it go?
I don't know. It's a
Exactly,
Very, he's
you
a
don't
very
know?
agile and yeah, it's a flexible hero. I mean, I'm sure Monkey King can do the splits. He's doing all this artisanal capoeira-based movement.
Love me some.
I would like to see Crpwve really hard counter this Monkey King conceptually. I think
Vengeful
we've
Spirit.
seen. Well, I think the best way to counter Monkey King is just long range damage that kites him. Perfect. Okay, that is number 1. We'll take a Phoenix. We'll take a Morphling. Take heroes like this that don't really have to commit onto you, bring you down to like half HP, and then burst you down. They've already got a really nice setup between the Puck and the
10
Phoenix.
seconds remaining.
Nice team fight. It's really good in lane against Monkey King as well, the Phoenix, so you
5
can just
seconds
follow it to
remaining.
whatever lane it goes to. You have a lot of good pairings with it that are nice against Monkey King. I was upset that the first round Lycan worked on the first game, so I'm already biased. I don't think Monkey King should be able to be first picked, so I hope to see Crpwve continue to draft specifically to remove this hero from the game.
But what if it's 3 position?
What if it's
like
carry?
Lycan, they're like, let's deal with this hero, and then it becomes a 3.
Just don't draft, really weak lanes in order to do
Radiant
that.
team
That's
back.
pretty much
Yes.
what I'm looking at.
Agreed with that.
Thing is for Brame, because they were first
Dire
pick, it does
team
mean that they get to respond in
back.
both picks of the second phase. So they kind of enable themselves to have the perfect lane, and they can decide what's happening with this Monkey King. Yeah, so I think they're not in that bad of a position. And for Crpwve, I would be scared if I was Brame, because they have this strong Phoenix at 4, and then ATF, his hero pool, he does
10
play like the
seconds
kind of
remaining.
big tanky offlaners, unlike some offlaners who like to play more kind of countering heroes. He's like
5
the Timber
seconds
Swords, the
remaining.
Underlord, Axe, etc. And these are all kind of excellent Phoenix pairing. So that lane already, to me, is going to be a pretty scary lane from Crpwve.
Dire team back.
I just want to see more Venge, especially when you have a Puck picked up already.
Yo, swibbity swabbity on the Guile. Breaks it, and you're stunned. Just in case no one knew. Kyle was saying.
Okay, you could have just said that without swibbity swabbity.
See, my problem is
What's wrong with
Kyle
that?
said
10 seconds remaining.
counter to Monkey King and strong lanes, or at least he agreed with what
Yeah.
BSJ was saying.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team back.
Really is
I
strong.
disagree. Yeah, you got a stun. Your W against
A stun.
is pretty effective.
Stun does move
Venge is
pretty
like
quick
one of the
though.
weakest. She's like Wyvern tier, man, in the laning stage. I don't know.
Dude, Wyvern.
she's-
Okay, how about one above Wyvern? Wyvern tier is its own tier.
No.
Okay, so
No.
Wyvern is
Whoa, whoa,
One
whoa, whoa.
above
Venge
because she
is
goes
deep.
really well with like
What?
Drow.
10 seconds.
Really
But
good.
Wyvern's better than Venge. Wyvern can at least push out the lane and play out a game. Venge is
5
just like,
seconds remaining.
stun, don't hit my carry.
But it's a lot of damage.
That's it. That's all she does. Nothing.
Dude, Venge has
like-
like 48 base damage too. Like she does like Dota.
Really, it's that low?
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
Here, I got my Dota client pulled up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
I like to imagine
Her
that
base damage
Tika's
is actually
version of Venge
45.
has an ability which is called
45.
grovel. Please don't hit my carry.
That's the chicken taunt when you run next to the creeps, you know?
What's that base damage?
45 base damage. on
Jesus.
Venge.
Okay. Yeah, maybe not the best. That's why.
It's so amazing how like these base stat changes completely break heroes. Like Monkey
yeah.
King, the only difference between him now and before is I think 2 years ago he had 0 base armor. Now he's got 6. It's just crazy what happens over the course of time with these heroes.
Yeah.
It's why the idea of 5 position heroes is kind of opening up to be pretty much anything, because as long as you have good move speed, armor, and some type of damage, it means you can contest pulls, play with the 4, because 4 positions now, all they have to do is, pull a creep wave, body block a hard camp or whatever. So if you have this 5 or any support that has a bit more kind of natural good stats, it allows you to play the first 10 minutes of the game, which is critical in most games.
Long range kiting damage.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah.
Earth Spirit.
Okay, I like the Earth Spirit pick. You needed something to get onto these backline supports. Tusk is pretty worthless as a Dota hero, but Earth Spirit, really high value. You have Grimstroke, so you can shield and roll.
10 seconds remaining.
But also both teams are pretty much, they're not really flexing anything, they're just showing exactly what they have, right? So now Crpwve, they go for this Juggernaut. We aren't most likely going to see any kind of aggressive tri-lanes coming out, simply due to that Phoenix hero. And from Crpwve, you know exactly what's happening. Jugs are carrying, Phoenix is a 4. Puck's going to be a mid. Maybe there's some Phoenix offlane scenario that could occur, but for Brame, they
10
can now decide
seconds
Monkey is at mid, carry, offlane.
What do you think of Legion Commander here?
5 seconds remaining. Dire team back.
Even better. Of course. Of course. I forgot. You need a Necro book in your offlaner. What am I thinking?
It's Brame, come on. No.
That's sick. That's really solid here.
In
I like it.
regards to, I was saying, just in regards to the Legion idea, it's more, you need a bit more oomph and kind of activity in your game. So
Enigma is oomph.
10
And in addition,
There we go.
you want to play away from your offlaner as an Earth Spirit. You want to have that ability to
5
rotate,
seconds remaining.
play with the Grimstroke if necessary, control runes. Enigma loves being left alone for a bit. And CM Jug, you know, maybe you'll be able to kill some Eidolons, but it's so annoying to play against Enigma as a carry.
And
Like, let's actually ask the expert. BSJ, how annoying is it to play against Enigma? Scale of 1 to 10.
I would say my enjoyment of this patch is very low because I get to lane against the.
We need a number, Brian.
So maybe like a 1.
thank you.
A 1.
Unless
one
I'm
on the
Alchemist.
PSJs.
If I'm Alchemist, it's a 10. Other than that, it's a 1.
Got it.
That's the Enigma counter, guys, by the way. In your pubs, all the people out there, you see these people spamming Enigma. Just pick out.
And the key thing here is
Free
for
gold.
Brame. They did pick up this hero that, like the Earth Spirit, that because you have this offlane that is independent, Earth Spirit can now do exactly whatever he wants. You have this Grim 5, enables the Earth Spirit, and let's say it's Monkey mid or going to be carry, whatever lane they go to as 3 should be dying, just like Crpwve did in that second game.
I'm sorry, did BSJ scale go 1 is good?
No, I believe the one was bad.
You know, I've heard
Yeah,
people
1 was
say that.
bad. I hate laning.
10,
Wait, what?
10 is always good. People have asked me, like, how do you, like, how good is your food? And I'll be like, a 2. And they'll be, oh, really, that good? I'm like, no. Like, what are you talking about?
Where are
A
you?
higher number is
What
better.
scale- who uses this?
I
Call
don't
them
know.
out right now.
I honestly don't know. But there are people who do
Radiant
that.
team back.
It's the same. It's like, okay, the expression, it's all downhill from here versus all uphill from here. All downhill means it's getting easier, not harder.
What if you trip up and just roll down the hill? That's pretty painful.
But I've had to explain
speed,
this.
which
People
means
think
that it's getting more and more.
I did once run down a hill and couldn't stop my little legs from running. That's
Seriously,
scary.
I had somebody try to convince me that if they say, yeah, it's all uphill from here, is like,
5
that means things are
seconds
getting
remaining.
better, like it's looking up. I'm like, no,
No.
all downhill because it's getting easier. We're rolling downhill. Right? Like, am I crazy or
Dire
what?
team pick.
I think Brame, they're not too crazy with their bans though, because they are really showing a lot of respect to ATF. I just love the fact that so many offlane bans here. And he is, by far, I think, the star player for Crpwve. I think he's the real showcase player from low division, in my
Oh,
opinion.
sure, dude,
They play
ATF.
Mag.
Who?
10 seconds remaining.
I hope not.
Oh.
It's like a really
ATF.
nice Mag game, man.
5
It-
seconds remaining.
I kind of disagree, mate, because no one stands up front and enjoys the fight. Puck and Mag and Phoenix all going to be kind of playing on the fringe of the fight. Jug might be up front, but there's a black hole.
Oh, so you got the counter initiation of Black Hole. I feel like it's
That's
a really
true.
hard game to Black Hole if the and you can go tanky items on the Jug that enables you to stand
True,
in front because
true.
you have the damage of a tower.
It could happen as well.
ATF said that pretty much every game Crpwve plays, but this guy was
Radiant
so
team pick.
heavily recruited. And I was considering that maybe this would be a pickup, but I didn't think they would run it mid or carry, and it does look like that'll be the Brame play. Don't mind it though, you can play with a lot of tempo with this lineup. They could take all 3 towers by 10 minutes.
The question is from Brame, do they actually play the Grimstroke mid? Because
10
this could easily just be the
seconds
Spartan
remaining.
5,
Ooh,
and then the Grim mid into the Puck, and then the whole
that's
idea of
pretty
that
sick.
fight. Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
You may
Doom
now
mid.
select your heroes.
Do we like that? Yeah.
No, it's
It's a
Doom offlane.
frontline-
It's Doom offlane. It's ATF.
It's a
Oh.
frontlining big boy
Yep, ATF classic.
that allows you to counter black hole. That's kind of what you wanted, right, Tico?
Yeah, I just want a bit of science to go for the fight.
And it
but-
is a mid-profit against Puck. That is actually a pretty profit-favored matchup. Puck has really low base armor, and you just send Treants and hit him in the face.
All right, BSJ. Who you got? It's your chance. You got to get one prediction right in this series.
I don't know. I'll just go with the Enigma lineup. They have better lanes.
Well, I'm going to go against BSJ. He's been wrong every game.
You're back on the Brame.
Man, I'm not even thinking about
you're not.
past the 5-minute mark.
Doom. ATF.
Boom. ATF.
Yeah, ATF
10
is going to
seconds
just bust
remaining.
open the door, raid the place. You're doomed. That's it.
5 seconds
Also,
remaining.
Amara's...
What can I say? They've spoken.
Okay. So we're all just going to go off of ATF?
Nah, mate. Back on the Brame train.
They were split,
let's
first
go.
of all. He liked Doom, he liked Enigma. Those are opposite
They gotta
sides
win.
there.
They gotta win fast. I like the draft a little bit, but I just have a feeling that Crpwve is they're done messing around. Show why they're top.
Okay, well, it sounds like we're going to be seeing a fast-paced Game 3, which is exactly what you want to hear when OD Pixel and Fogged are on the mic.
Absolutely, Cap. Yes, let's hope that we get a lot of fun here in Game 3 between Crpwve and Brame. Fogged, a little split across the panel and between BSJ as well on this one. I mean, for you looking at this, and from what we've seen so far from these two teams, who do you believe is going to be able to take it the whole way and get themselves the win here?
This one looks like the Brame can actually make stuff happen if things do go wrong. So from what I saw, at least in the first game, I'm probably liking them a little bit more. I do like Crpwve's draft, though, for the most part. I'm a little worried that ATF is the only frontliner, and he is into this Monkey King. Everyone else on their draft is so squishy. Just this Doom to be that tanky. Make spells get casted on him, which concerns me a bit because they have so many different ways to actually just kill a target. They have so much kill potential on Brame. And I feel like these heroes are just going to be left vulnerable because the Doom's not going to be able to.
And so, overall in the early game, you expect Crpwve to have the harder time, like the lanes in general are better for Brame?
Yeah, I like their lanes quite a bit here. They'll be able to pick and choose the lanes too because they have this Nature's Prophet and they have the ways to solidify the lanes with the Earth Spirit, with the Enigma. So the Earth Spirit can make moves all over the place because that Enigma is self-sufficient.
Oh, let's see. Let's see if Brame do indeed get themselves a hefty lead at the start, or if Crpwve is able to show us what they pulled out in that previous game, that the way that they were able to just sort of crush at least one aspect of Brame's lineup very early on and make it so that Brame just could never quite recover.
Yeah, really curious to see how all these fights will kick off because I'm just seeing a lot of stuns and a lot of different ways to start and kick off engagements on the Brame side. But then I look at the Crpwve and it's very limited. Just get a nice devour.
See that there? ATF calling us out. Oh, sorry, but I believe your name's not too family friendly, but we'll call you Amar. If you want to know how his name really goes down, you can find out on the internet.
I had a bunch of people message
this is a kid-friendly show, so we're gonna be we'll call you Amar. ATF, no worries.
And he does get the devour right away, so he gets some nice money going his way, and the cooldown will be coming up right away when he gets to the lane.
Yeah.
And they're actually going to posture themselves as this, I guess, kind of in a way dodging the lanes. But it looks like the read is coming up from the lane, from the side of Brame, and they're going to get the lanes that they want. Monkey King versus the Doom, and having the Enigma versus the Jug.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's see indeed if Brame's able to shake this up.
Yeah, I'm going to watch mid a lot, too. I want to see how this matchup is now. If anything has changed from the past, because Puck is that much stronger now, but I don't think it is going to change, because this is just a matchup that's always been there. Matchup in heaven for that Nature's Prophet versus Puck, versus these Pucks, versus these Queen of Pains, these range heroes. Don't deal with Treants.
No, for sure, yeah. I think we could see quite a hefty lead in CS for Wish if he plays it right here in the 1v1.
Bottom, I see potential for kills too with this Monkey King and this Grimstruck. Since they got the lane that they want, they're up against this Doom, up against Phoenix, who has 1 base armor. This is not the easiest lane for the Doom, so they just have to play it smart, play greedy, play very defensive on the side of this Doom. Just let Brame overplay their hand.
I take what I please. Warriors of the wood.
Fishman.
Dyer's courier.
He's dead. He got that courier, but he just walked into the tower for it.
I mean, hey, he got the courier.
I thought he got kicked in at first, and I'm like, wait,
we just went in.
rolling boulder. Like, what the hell is going on?
All right, well, that's one way to get the first blood.
He got 2 couriers, and I believe he set up for a couple Eidolon kills or something.
No, I'm out.
Feeds his life away. Earth Spirit now level 2 as well, so Fishman has to be a bit more careful how he does step up, and this doesn't look great for... Doesn't look like a great position for the Jug. His last hits are pretty decent.
Yeah.
But I'm watching Stahl doing a great job with these Eidolons too, just blocking the camp, the hard camp. They might lose all the Eidolons for it though.
Oh, that's
actually not good.
That's nearly 200 gold straight up for Crystallis.
And the Earth Spirit actually blocked the camp, so they didn't need to send the Eidolons over from Scar. Like, he actually over blocked the camp there. And we're seeing Stock. He is setting up around mid. The orb was just used. He's looking to go for this attempt here. The Enigma, as we've said, perfectly fine on his own. And he's gonna wait for this orb to get casted and maybe try. Let's see, there's gonna be on the range creep.
Yeah.
Bottom.
They've got the setup with the X-Rock. Can he get the Jingu stack up? Ooh. He does, but he's not able to benefit from any of the hits afterwards there with that attack speed slow from the Phoenix as Amar gets to clean up the two of them.
And top again, also now Skylark getting ran down. Will survive for a second, but that extra last hit. And now Reen just concentrated by Shito. And that's what we're mentioning for bottom is don't make the aggressive move yourself as a Doom Phoenix. Let them make the mistake. Let them try to overplay their hand. And they did that perfectly with the Sport Spirit and with the Fire Spirit.
I mean, this is, yeah, the point where when spirits are up, like, can these two heroes really get aggressive? Anytime you're sort of just able to get a spirit down on the monkey when he has like just two of the Jingu up, he's never going to be able to get the fourth without just taking so much damage in response.
Yeah, he's got to be careful how he does play around it. It was very close though, right? Like if he did get that last swing against the Boundless, he'll probably just pull heals off of it.
Sure. But that's only going to get harder, right? It's like, you know, the spirits and the potential of the Radiant side is going to get stronger, whereas Jingu's not necessarily going to get easier to build up.
Dire's top tower.
He's still doing, I mean, he's still doing good in lane though, right? Like he's still applying the pressure. Doom has 16 last hit, but it's not full free farm.
No,
he's still and now the Doom still has trouble stepping up as Spartan, so steps up a bit too far. There is a point inside the Infernal Blade.
Oh, I see a Fishman up top going down. Kills everywhere in this one. A lot of action indeed already. 4 minutes in, 4 for 2. Side lanes, dropping heroes left, right, and center.
Chaos in side lanes, but Wish is holding his own in that mid lane very nicely. We did mention he probably would 2010 last hit, gonna have a very early level 6, and since Chaos is happening in those side lanes, we know that's where Nature's Prophet thrives. As soon as he hits 6, it's very likely they just get a single kill or even a double kill, seeing so much action kick off.
Here I am.
Do want to see Crpwve be very wary of when this Nature's Prophet hits 6. Top, they're looking again for Skylark. They have to be careful. Shito is just waiting for the positioning to kick Fishman under the tower when they do get those Eidolons some. But yeah, good job of clearing them out. They've gotten a lot. Way higher than I thought they should have been.
Right, Chrysalis again, cleaning up about 4 Eidolons. Stamanen is going to be able to quite find the kill. He's able to
Healing Ward though.
Yeah, stop at least the Fishman CM from getting the free heals from Chrysalis.
And it's going to be. Is that 4? It looks like 4 bounty runes. Yeah, 4 bounty runes again for this now. Crpwve, just like last game. They got the 4 early on too. Career, but nicely done. Focus is still. They didn't decide to swap their lanes, so Focus is still getting a really good farm down here, even though he did get that 1 death to get the silence. Alex, and there's that MP ulti.
Yeah, now he's at the 6. He's always going to have that to offer up.
Spartan with a cool skill build too, because he is playing versus that Phoenix, the 1-1-1, rather than getting Morning Swell on top. Fishman, very close to dying, but he will survive.
Dire's
I mean, needing that Phantom's Embrace for the... So I like that he did go for this little bit of an unorthodox skill build. Trains to check the runes. The other beautiful thing about Nature's Prophet, don't need to commit your hero to go ever deny a rune from that opposing mid. Train kills a haste rune bottom.
Right, this free farm on Focus is definitely going to be a bit of a problem. Now, him and Wish, especially when they start making moves, these two are going to be able to get a lot done whilst they sort of rotate across the map, and it's going to be sort of a test to see if Crpwve is able to respond to it strong enough, especially whilst they're still in the stage of the game where Chrysalis is going to want to be a bit more focused on getting his item.
And Shito now is actually looking to make moves away from top finally. He was playing mostly around top and slightly around the mid for the first 6 minutes. Now he can look to make pairing with his Grimstroke. Level 2 Phantom, so not the high points of Ink Swap for this game. I think he wants to prioritize axing that Phantom, or third party Phantom. And the Doom comes out.
And then he's going to try and lead in here, Amar, but he's going to get instantly split from Alex as they'll just turn and take down the 2 of them. Of course, TP rotation coming in from Wish. Oh, actually, maybe 18. Maybe he might just be able to make it away with the phase boots. He is fast enough. Same time up top, Crpwve getting aggressive onto the Enigma and will manage to find him. So not losing the 2 down there, just the 1. And in return, Crpwve getting something themselves up top.
He does get the book summon and the Eidolons before he does die, though, so he's able to just kill this whole creep wave. So they can't actually turn this tops into a push at all, which is pretty good for the side of Brame. I'm surprised they didn't kill Alex bottom. Alex was literally 1 hit. They just full focus onto Amar.
Wait, I thought they did. Oh, they didn't?
They didn't. He lived with 9 HP and he walked away.
Oh, okay, so they didn't get either. Oh, now they did that. Or maybe not. No, Alex is able to actually get the kill on Stomino. All right, teasing them there.
Double damage.
Well played by Alex.
That just happened. As he still has his tranquil boots, healing himself up, staying in the area, level 5 now too. Yeah, the Nature's Prophet bounced and got him down to 9 HP and he ran south when they all focused on the tomb and he lived. These NP ults are definitely hurting quite a bit though. We're seeing how much power they can have, and it also, same thing, is that it does not only hit the heroes, it pushes the wave out too. So we're seeing the positioning of these lanes are pretty forced in, so they can't actually get any type of tower damage on the side of Crpwve. They're now giving the mid lane to the Earth Spirit. Nature's Prophet getting just some jungle done. Going for that early Orchid, gonna be very good versus Malrine on the puck, who's just going for the bots. Come around again.
Catch focus.
No Doom available.
5 for damage. It is a lot with this Sunray. Focus burning down. Amar stays on target. Focus into the trees though. Will burn down to Scorched Earth. Same time though, as the top Skylark goes down, they gets Fishman in return. Bottom lane, Amar in trouble as he's stuck in the trees.
This is what happened.
5 heroes suddenly dead across the map. It remains closer to 8 for 6, less than 1k in it. Is there a team that you do feel is benefiting from the chaos a little bit more so far?
They're getting a bit more tower damage on the side of Brame. They're able to actually turn it into something, as I see all the other lanes just instantly being pushed out. So I feel like they're getting a very slight advantage on Brame, but it's pretty damn even with the way it's all going around. And it was a black hole use top, and I think he maybe instant canceled it because they tipped him so fast, or he used it as an Omni Slash happened. I wonder what happened up there, because they tipped him instantly as the black hole was casted. Now, no black hole available, no Nature's Prophet ulti either, and Doom, Amar does have his at the ready, so he's just looking to park himself in front of this tower bottom, but they're starting to surround, and the book 1 is up.
We're diving in.
Towards Alex.
He's got the egg. Will pop it. No, commit the Doom onto Wish. See if they can take the snake down. They can't. So Wish is going to end up getting caught in the Supernova Blast. He'll fall. Skylark also being taken out as Jug turns over the action. And they're not even going to be able to get Stamana now. Dream Coil's available from Marlene. They'll lock him down into the silence. He cannot run. As Crpwve come in with an incredible hold there of their tier 1 tower, getting 4 heroes for it.
Radiant's top tower.
Over-aggressive push by Brame gets heavily punished. Phoenix hits 6. They just press the ult. There's no way that they can commit to chase for it there. It's too far forward from the side of Brame.
Very nicely done.
Again, Crpwve making really nice moves, and now transitioning it into a mid tower. Just a minute catapult push. Really nice moves from Crpwve, just responding, knowing when they can take the battles. Now their ults are a bit on cooldown though, so they're gonna have to give some respect. Back away for a moment. And Focus was still at least able to make the move top when all that was happening. He does get probably this entire tower.
And now Focus.
He might actually get the kill.
They certainly will with that Omni Slash. No escape for Focus. He just couldn't catch a break up there.
That was sick by Alex too. The Fire Spirits makes him stay there a second longer, even gets the tower denied. Just they're getting in their heads. They're getting in their heads.
He's not going to get caught by the stun, and he's going out with the TP, and he's away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Outplay.
A mid tower.
Very nicely done, and they get the mid tower. Really good stuff
fallen.
coming out from Crpwve in these last 3 minutes.
1k lead. And against as what you felt was a lineup that for Brame they would have expected to to have come out of the laning stage with an edge against Crpwve.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't definitely means that things haven't gone completely according to plan for Brame's line.
No, absolutely. Crpwve done an excellent job of setting themselves and defending these towers. Like, I can't believe bottom tower is 1240 HP at the 12-minute mark.
They've held it
They
so
just
well.
dropped an Enigma. Like,
Yeah.
they've done such a good job of holding this
Radiant
tower. And
structures are
Brame may be
fortified.
overcommitting a little bit, given some lack of respect. They're getting punished for it. Now top, Wish, nice Orchid. Will be able to live, no coil. Able to be casted. Skylark with the book too, looking to try to continue this siege down bottom. Already, Alex is setting up. His egg is at the ready. The TPs on the front will be a quick one.
Radiant
One side,
bottom
Crpwve, but they do look to defend.
Oh, just a mana.
Dire's
It's going to try and get it onto Alex. And with the backup of Wish, they'll be able to keep him silent. No chance for an egg. And that should be easily the space for them to finally get this tower.
Radiant's
Same time, those trades being made.
Dire's top tower is under
Still
attack.
decent. I mean, Alex just gets caught there. They make a nice aggressive move up top to continue the pressure and get themselves this good farm. Now we're going to see Brame get some aggressive warding down to continue looking to pressure bottom and mid.
Radiant's bottom tower
And they're
is under
still very
attack.
strong to teamfight when they are all
Dire's
together.
top tower is
Especially
under
with this
attack.
Orchid on the Nature's Prophet. It's going to trip up a lot of the heroes on the side of Crpwve. Nobody having any protection versus at all still. Doom, Amar getting close to a BKB, but he's not going to be the main target for
Radiant
that
are
Orchid yet.
scanning.
No.
Anyway.
I mean, to the point where do you think Malrine, he can still afford to get away with the aggressive build of bots into Witchblade without finding, you know, sort of the nice escape again from Fishman, getting away from this Grimm's attempts every single time. But yeah, the puck should be fine, or do you think Marlene could be in for a bit of spot of bother with Wish being able to focus him with the Orchid?
Illusion!
I think it's a bit over-aggressive for him to go for this Switchblade. Maybe he feels like they need damage, but I feel like with Phoenix, like, you have very good damage coming from your supports. I think this might hurt him. There's a lot of different silences he has to work for. There's not only just the Orchid, Earth Spirit and Grimstroke too. So that definitely could hurt, as the book 3 about to be delivered onto Skylark. They are very strong now in this area, and almost focus having, I mean, halfway to the Aghanims.
They're going to come in with the smoke.
Sorry. Dodges the silence nicely. And breaks the smoke.
I won't be able to get anything with this. Chrysalis actually,
Charging in.
yeah, he's ready to start taking some of their jungle, knowing that they headed out to the lower half of the map.
A prize!
Bounty.
And wanting to sort of be in position to make focus. Oh,
My God. that
he was close. Just a tree off that.
They have the ward on that high ground there. He's still getting stalked, getting watched. They're looking to make their own move, maybe onto Amar mid, but he's completely aware of this. Playing on the side that he's even calling for TPs to set up the counter gank already. There's Marlene. She out there with the orb. He's not gonna be able to clean up much. A couple Eidolons
Radiant's
perhaps,
middle
but
tower is under attack.
committing to a fight. Still too afraid. Brame getting some good time to farm up and finish up this Aghanims on the Monkey King pretty soon.
Yeah, the whole team really in position to make sure the focus is going to be safe whilst he finishes
Dire's
the side
middle
up.
tower is under attack.
And now Amar has the BKB, so that I had a bit of a fear for their front line. Now with this BKB, he's going to be able to mess with the initiation and mess with
Dire's
the
top
actual
tower
attempt
is
of
under
fights from
attack.
Brame. He's going to have all this liberty to just charge and pick whatever target he wants to go with the Doom.
Dire's structures
And they're
are
even getting some
fortified.
really nice damage on this top tower too. I think they tried. I don't know if they're going to be able to defend for bottom.
No, I think I'll leave this. Look at this push with the Necro books of the Eidolons.
Top tower is
Yeah.
under attack.
This is
No one defending, no one TPing the tier 3 either, so just clearly showing they're not even
Radiant's bottom
in any
tower
realm of
is
looking to
falling.
defend. They'll get their own trade.
Dire's top tower is falling.
Outpost for outpost.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Brame, they're going to start poking a bit at the tier
bottom tower
3s.
is under attack.
See what sort of response they get from Crpwve.
It's gonna force a reaction. I mean, the catapult is still alive. Eidolons and Necro are tanking. Decent damage on that tier 3 here. Both teams doing pretty much exact same ward
Dire's
coverage
middle
of the
tower
opposing
is under
sides.
attack.
And Marino still wanting to continue with the way he played the puck before, going for the blink after. again, rather than anything to remove those silences. But I guess, you know, if he's caught with the blinks and the phase shifts, he could always get away before any damage comes in after some of the silence.
Yeah, either he lives or he just instantly dies, right? So it's gonna be really, he has to be really careful with the way that he does commit forward. He just has vision pretty much of profit.
Omni-slash in. Oh, it's over on a Skylark as well, but the bouncers take him over towards the Islands. He's burning down to the Sunbreak. And they get the kill. Fishman. Oh, they're trying to save over the healing ward, but the nuke from Spartan finishes the kill.
Crystal gets a lot of nice cleanup gold. Gets both of the books and all the Eidolons as well. Over 300 plus 300 to 400 gold for him.
And that Monster Manon's already out. Focus is still around. And he instantly into the trees. They'll hit him with the scan, but a little too elusive for them to chase. So
is under attack.
Focus there, but to live another day, get his Ags finished. And we'll now start to be able to step up his farm game and begin to attempt to close the gap on Chrysalis, which is going to be hard to do. It's 5-0-1, excellent KDA. And as we've just continued to see, just getting so much extra gold from all these sort of summons and creeps being thrown at him.
Brame is gonna have to wait until they can still fight now because they do have the BKB on the Nature's Prophet, but I think waiting for BKB on the Monkey King is probably the better thing. The spell is in control in Teamfight right now from Crpwve. Just them using their abilities is gonna end up killing. So right now they have to be a little careful of how they do get ran out. If they can catch the puck with an initiation, that's phenomenal, but most of the time with this Doom BKB, it's gonna be Amar kind of starting off the fight. Brame needs a little bit of time to try to get these BKBs before they feel very comfortable of. What's Skylark doing with his courier? Why is his courier just following him? Whatever. Maybe he didn't notice. It's been sitting on him for like 2 minutes now.
I mean, he just likes a bit of company, you know?
He had a jam or something and he was just making sure like picks, I don't know. Maybe he didn't notice. Either way. Continue this pressure bottom, Spartan. Slowly stealthing forward. We see Alex has found he has built his dual scepter, so he has a way to protect himself versus the Orchid. As they try to make an aggressive move onto the puck, but there's no again. They killed just off the mark. Crpwve doesn't seem to mind this at all. Just farming, they're just letting Brame attempt to make these moves. And
yeah, I mean
they do have a pretty strong scaling lineup too. They're playing into the Enigma and the Monkey King, but Jug and Doom, these heroes can take over late games very easily.
Yeah, I think Crpwve are going to be fine with this chill.
Yeah.
But in the mind at all. Yeah, all three of their cores farming perfectly fine. And it really is on the side of Brame.
Aggressive build.
Who is?
That was aggressive build too, so like their scaling thing is just it's really good for them, even as they transition into the later stages.
I mean, they've got the double blinks, they're ready for the initiations. Yep. I think, yeah, the pressure definitely on Brame to do something.
Are scanning.
Yeah, and Alex is level 13. This is a very high level Phoenix too. These team fights are looking very difficult for Brame. They have to have like a pretty ideal Wukong's command in Black Hole for them to look to actually take it. Crpwve, they're charged on Jug.
Yeah, it's going to be super hard to hit this egg. Oh, easy courage.
Dire's courier has been killed.
As Brame will know the whereabouts of them
under attack
now, and well, we'll see if they do still get caught out by this, as Brame are sticking around on this top lane.
The BKB Doom. Spartan is chilling. They're trying to get the puck. Again, can't catch him, and now initiation.
Yeah, now they're just going to turn. That was a bit of an ambitious move there from the two of them, diving in to attempt to grab Marlena. It's not going to happen. And now Mar's going to try and chase one more. They're in over towards Spartan. Sentry's down. They step out the range of the Inkswell and then come back in for the finishing blow. As Brame really just not having the execution and coordination they need to try and use that early game strength they expected to have with their heroes, as Crpwve are really making the most of it.
it really does feel like just farm triple BKB cores on Brame before you can look to do anything versus Crpwve right now. Crpwve feeling themselves and just knowing exactly where they need to hit on the map. Around this roach pit, they make that smoke, they get those kills. Now they can actually secure this. Brame, they can't make their way over here at all, and not a place to fight. Focus still quite a ways away from that.
Starlight, does he want to go for some YOLO play here with the blink?
Dire's turret.
Sending the Idol and Scout.
He's not going to make the move.
Into the Radiant. Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, now
is
having to
under
deal
attack.
with an Aegis on Crystallis. It really does feel like that every moment this game is only going to get harder for Brame.
Skylar, they actually get the silence this time on the puck finally, and with no way to counterplay it. Marine?
I mean, he's going to have to jump.
Range. Transformation.
Perfectly timed there, coming out of the shift from Stamanen. As then he stopped to a rift out.
That's the only time that they've caught the puck, though. With the bot, Witchblade Blink build,
Yeah.
triple silence lineup, and that's the only time they've killed him. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's fine with that. As you say, just dying once and getting away with this sort of build, then you are more than happy as the puck. And continuing to get the aggressive items halfway in on his Aghanims.
They're getting so much out of the map. I just keep watching Alex, this Phoenix. He's level 14. Let's look at those other supports.
That's insane.
Level 11, level 10.
Yeah.
He's the same level as the Monkey King and this Enigma on the opposing side. And Phoenix is one of the those king actual supports that kind of can carry from his position too. So they're almost have a 4-4 on this Radiant, this Crpwve side.
Yeah, especially against a team that doesn't really have any insane capabilities when it comes to taking down the lane. They haven't got any sort of amping up abilities or attack speed benefits that are going to be able to help them deal with it in the fights. That most of the time they're going to have to run. Problem is, Crpwve's got the puck. You can't run out of the... Well, you can if you want to take a lot of damage, but they've got great control around that egg. Crpwve.
Marine, they've been hunting for him for a couple minutes here on the side. Won't be able to catch him though with the Air Spirit. Now the Phoenix Alex will make over.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Brame, I guess it is hard now that the Aegis is on Crystallis, but still themselves very much just trying to play the farm game as well, trying to keep up with Crpwve. It's just sort of hard to see if that's really going to work out for them here in this game. Crystallis, we found Spartan. Spartan will not be able to save himself.
I'm watching Focus not farming either.
What's he doing, sitting in trees?
This is exactly why.
Top tower
He's just
is
sitting in the
under
trees
attack.
scouting, and the moment he jumps down, Maurice sets up, actually almost catches him with the coil. So it's for good reason. Focus is just feeling the pressure. He can't actually get much on the map. He's been down here, and he hasn't increased his last hits by much in the last 2 minutes or so. He's just been jumping around.
I guess they feel that as long as one of them's getting farm out of Focus and Wish, that they're kind of cool with this, because Wish is he's still top of the net worth. Still incredibly farmed on the Prophet, this Bloodthorn BKB.
But when is Focus going to be able to actually fight, though? He's going to have Aghanims and BKB, so he still needs that next item afterwards to actually be that big damage dealer. I feel like Jug can just Focus Fire him so easily. Manta Scotty, and he's going to bash here by then. Just Omni Slash the Monkey King and all the Vikings is dead.
Yeah, it's not an easy game for the Monkey King here. Even in a game as well where this Monkey King, Focus, he had a complete free farm in the lane, right? That lane down bottom, he couldn't really have had a better start. Sure, maybe more kills would have been nice for him, but he was able to really hit the creative top lane. Up with the silence in, onto a mark. Black Hole B dropped down as well. And they'll turn over towards the egg. Can they do it in time? They can. Good commitment there from Brame to get the two of them. They're going to try it from Malorine as well. But with the silence, they might just be able to do it. Malorine in trouble. He's trying to get away. He's able to lift. Phase shift is popped, and now it's Crpwve's turn to do the cleaning up. As Crystallis takes the second, Malorine still alive. Stamanen trying to find him. But we have Crystallis blocking it up. Malorine, he's going to be able to stay out of the range of the Magnetize, and he will live. A clean up for Crpwve after what looked to be a decent start there for Brame, committing that black hole and taking down the Supernova. but they're just a little bit too far behind, and Crpwve bringing in more numbers than Brame was able to get over there.
Overstayed their welcome a little too far. Mallory actually baiting the hell out of them. Not having the way to play around the silence. In the direct counter, but just being able to dance around.
I mean, yeah.
To make them stay around too long.
It's got to be pretty infuriating for Brame, right, playing against this puck when you know he's got nothing to take the silences off, but you're still not being able to kill him. Like he is, you know, he's definitely going to be having a smile on his face this game, Mallory, as he just drifts around them.
Continuing to give space for focus, and he does have the BKB. He's on his way toward that next item, and they did shrink the lead by a decent margin there, at least for a small moment. It went from 4K to 2K. Experience still heavily dominating for the side of Crpwve. They've just been able to, like we said, get more out of the map. It's been focused really just jumping around the trees for a very long time. I'd be very surprised if I don't see them place a ward down there on the side of the tree, because he's been lingering around this tree vision for such a long time. Oh, actually, wait, is that a... Oh, no, okay. They did give Amara the gem. Okay. So Amara is holding on to that one. Playing a little bit too aggressive.
Not as impressive as the original.
I mean, the lead hasn't necessarily grown from Crpwve. It's still just a 3K.
But their team fight has. I'm still looking at the Phoenix. Like, their team fight is still so damn strong. I can see that their triple BKB is up, though, for Brame, so they are very strong when they do get into these fights, if they are able to just get these off and get the proper targets, proper initiations, not get doomed initially.
I don't know if you saw that stat there as well. That was probably quite a considerable amount of Eidolons, right? He's lost 61 Eidolons this game, 1,400 gold to Crpwve off the back of those. So that's a lot of money.
Are under attack.
They were getting so many of them in the laning phase. Like, he would summon, they would split, and the Jug would run over and spin on top of them with the CM move, and they would get a lot of them. Well, not too surprising. They've also got a lot of books, right?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They have 850 gold. I mean, as a total from the Necro books and the Eidolons, Jugs had, you know, that's 1K of Jugs' net worth.
It definitely adds up. Seen them looking to still want to try to make a play around bottom every time they do see Malrine split pushing, because they do have to put attention. These Greater Treants, we've seen them take so many racks and
they win
very
games.
little that you can do.
I mean, just look at that. That rack's is nearly down.
Look at top.
Radiant's
He's going to start doing it top now too. They're starting to get that split push going with this. Pretty, I mean, I call it over-tuned shard a little. The Treants feel a little bit too powerful to me still at the moment, but...
I mean, and in a game where, you know, sure, they're a little bit behind, but not that far. I mean, there's definitely going to be windows for that split push opportunity to come into play. So Crpwve's got to play very smart against this incredibly strong Prophet.
Yeah, and focus, he still is a Monkey King. Sure, his game has been pretty much quiet. He's 0-3-1. He's not involved. He still pushes towers pretty hard. They're looking to get the jump on mid. Wish has shown his face.
More Crystallis.
Get on it.
There we go, straight in with the Omni Slash. Crystallis down, over to Watch the Manon. He's going to be able to get the two of them, Crystallis. A perfect Omni Slash.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Best bounces I've ever seen. Right to that Earth Spirit. And now they can clean the mid wave too, as those Greater Treants were attempting the split push.
And I like this as well from Crystallis, getting that Swift Blink next. Something like on the Jug.
A bit different to see no Ags or Ag Shard.
True, that is the difference here. I think you're right. I feel like most Jugs would prefer to get the Ags first before the Swift Blink.
Feel like if he gets with the Swift Blink, then they have more opportunities of canceling the Enigma Black Hole too. If there's like a Blink BKB, he just sits out of the fight, he just omnis him. He's got a lot to do that he can play with this. I mean, chooses to. He also has a pistol, so these BKB Black Holes are just not going to be a threat from Skylar.
For sure, yeah. With the completed Abyssal, then the Blink makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
And yeah, Skylar, he's going for that Lincolns. He knows that there's going to be that. And the team fights are going to be very hard for him to drop it down.
9K gold lead now. How quickly things have increased. Yeah. Crpwve side. Almost 20,000 experience too. And really seeing the Brame just kind of starting to rely a little bit more on this, but rely on splitting Crpwve up and trying to find a hero that's out of position, as there is a Linken's now on Malrine. Harder to kill for those silences. They still have the Earth Spirit silence if they can get it. Right.
We got Doom Coil. They're going to drop it down. They get a Doom down as well, straight away onto the Monkey King. As they got follow damage, an attempt to jump in here on the Enigma. Black Hole's down, but he's not able to catch them. The bash is there, puts him to a stop. He's got to be careful now, Skylark. They are looking at Christmas, but he's able to get out of the silence with the Manta Star. It's 3 dead on Brame. Over towards which they go, as they'll be able to hold the racks here. It just wasn't enough here from Brame. It's a full cleanup from Crpwve. Trying to get in with that black hole, couldn't quite find the target, Skylark. And as we're seeing at this stage, Crystallis just doing so much damage. 12-0-3. Had a completely flawless game so far on the Jug. As Brame, they're really feeling the lead that Creeps had now for pretty much the majority of this game.
Yeah, perfect play there from the Jug. He just pre-clinked the Abyssal, right? The Enigma just jumped into an Abyssal instantly, and then we just leave a Black Hole whip. And look at the Doom. Doom and Coil are the two ideal targets too. And you see the instant Abyssal just pre-click from the high ground. Nothing that they can do at that point. Brame needs to get a good Black Hole, or at least a Wukong's off in the fight. They got neither off. There's no way that they have a chance there. Crpwve really solidified the lead.
And you know, now they've got to try and hold without the Black Hole. Crystallis still has the Omni Slash. So if anyone steps up, Crystallis will quickly jump in for the kill.
Focus.
I was kind of wondering if the temptation would have been there, because he knew the creeps were spawning, so didn't want to go in with the slash. As their players safe. I mean, again, Crpwve, they're going to feel that the game's in a pretty good state right now. They don't need to go for risky plays. They can more than easily wait out for their next big items to come out, as we are seeing. Puck now having the completed Aghanims. Roshan's available. Alternative for that, there's no Black Hole. So they won't feel too scared at all of Brame. I mean, Brame's heading over. But I don't know if Brame can really take a fight.
No, they cannot. This is going to be really difficult for them. Hopefully, Focus can at least get a Wukong.
Malrini's already out, and he's been able to get the jump onto the Spa, and they've got to run. They cannot fight this Brame. Or if they do, it may just be the last fight of the game for them. They've got the Black Hole back in 10. Roche is falling. Malrine, he's looking for the back. Spartan pulled back for this. Malrine's already on him a second time.
Focus. He's just dead.
The slashes are there. Commits with the ult. It's a dead Monkey King out for 70 seconds. Wish also in trouble as he gets right-clicked down. There's a buyback available on Wish, but nothing the same to be said for Focus. He cannot return to the game, as this looks like Crpwve may just be able to close it up. Straight over from Roche towards the tier 4s. They're looking to end it. The aggressive tips coming out as well over towards Focus. As Malrine, he's just starting on them here. 8-1 and 11. He went for a greedy build on Puck, and it absolutely has paid off here, as he just completely started on a lineup with multiple silencers. But it just seems like it didn't matter. They could pretty much never kill him, as now they just died inside their fountain. Wish they'll turn with the silence, but they're onto the ancient Crpwve. They're looking to close it up. A jump forward is attempted by Skylark, but the pistol into the bastion. Skylark, he cannot get his Black Hole off, as Amar runs him down. The ancient Illforge. GG is called, as Crpwve will take this series 2-1. And this game 3, it felt all too slow from Brame. Never really able to make the move. Crpwve pulling out again the caliber.